said, hey, you, can I bomb a cigarette?
I don't know why every time I look at you whenever we start recording, I start laughing.
It's a pretty common reaction to people with me.
Well, you're a funny person. It's April Fool's Day.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
Welcome to Small Town Big Gays. The biggest joke of all is that neither of us are homosexual.
We've been fooling everyone.
Yeah, this has all been an elaborate prank. I'm Chance.
I am not gay.
Mm-hmm.
Travis.
Mm-hmm. Conversion therapy worked.
It did. Mm-hmm.
I really hope you didn't. I really hope that's not a lore drop that was coming at some point, is that you did go to conversion therapy.
No, I probably should have.
Yeah, maybe.
But then we wouldn't have this podcast.
That's true. This podcast where two straight men talk about life
and how rough it is.
and how rough it is for straight white men
Yeah.
in big cities.
Because the world is trying to get rid of them with all this non-binary shit.
Mm-hmm. Non-binary.
Yep.
The DEI woke agenda.
The leftist liberal
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
bitches.
Mm-hmm. Bitches. When we say it, we mean it.
I mean, I usually do.
Yeah, same. One time I said it, and my husband was like, when you say it, sometimes it feels mean-spirited.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, that's because it is.
One time after I came out to my mom, she was telling me about this guy she worked with. And she goes, yeah, he was gay. And I was like, okay. And she goes, but he was a And I was like, oh, well, you really can't use that. And she's like, oh, I know. And I know you're not supposed to, but he really was. And I was like, she was a really mean person. He was a and I mean it. And I was like, I mean, fair. He probably was.
Yeah.
I'm going to trust her.
Oh, so funny.
Yeah.
Do you partake in April Fool's jokes?
I did once a long time ago, and it was it was a really bad joke.
What did you do?
I don't want to say it on the podcast.
Wow, that was an awful prank that you pulled, Travis.
I know I never should have told my parents I was pregnant.
Nope. Good cover. I don't personally partake in April Fool's jokes because as a fool, a clown, a merrymaker, a jester, whatever you prefer to call me, a general purveyor and connoisseur of tomfoolery year-round, I find April Fools to be cultural appropriation. I don't need a state-sanctioned day to pull pranks. I will leave that to the amateurs.
Yeah. I was like, I just lie all the time. So I don't need a date to tell me to pull one over on the world.
Professional gaslighter, Travis Gorell.
True. I should make a business card.
You really should.
Pretty good at it. Feels like it's been a really long week.
It does feel like it's been a really long week. My days have been all fucked up since like last Thursday.
Yeah.
So doing great. But it was a busy weekend. And then I was telling you before we started recording, busy weekend. Then I didn't feel productive even though I was busy the whole time. And then so now that's making for a stressful beginning of the week. But we're making to-do lists. We're getting through it. We're ignoring texts from people who annoy us. And
so that's why you haven't been texting me
that's
back.
why I haven't been texting you back.
Okay. Noted. And not taken. I'll continue to text you. You need a hug or anything?
No, I need Gaga to lower her pre-sale ticket prices.
Oh.
Because if you're only listening to this podcast, A, you can watch it on YouTube. B, you'll notice that I trimmed my scruff short again. Yeah. And this time was not on purpose. Well, I was thinking about doing it just out of convenience, but then I was rushing and trying to get in on the Lady Gaga Verizon pre-sale ticket thingy. And then I fucked up the chin line. And so instead of looking stupid to short people, even though I don't respect them or their opinions, so, whatever. But instead of looking stupid to short people, I just went down short, so.
You just look stupid to everyone now.
I look stupid to everyone now. It grows fast. It's fine.
Yeah. It's a look.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Coming from me, who clearly has no, I don't know the word about them. I don't know. I'm just here. Yeah.
You're here, you're existing.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that your week's off to a rough start, but it can only go up, right?
Yeah. We'll see how the election turns out.
Okay, well, we're going to speak positive things to the world. I had a really rough week last week, too.
Yeah, what happened?
It just has been like since I got back from New Orleans, it's just been like one thing after another at work. And I had a point where I like really considered just closing and locking the doors and not opening ever again and stopping doing hair, which happens to me a lot when I feel like I've disappointed a client.
Oh.
Well, it doesn't happen a lot because I try not to make that happen, but anytime it has happened, because hair is unpredictable. You never know. Like you can do everything right and it can decide to do something different.
Yeah.
And as like a creative person, you like, at least for me, I take my work very seriously. And so like when I don't feel like I did what I was supposed to do, it really eats away at me.
Mm-hmm.
Then like our washing machine at work broke and I was trying to fix it myself. And that was a bad idea.
Did you break it more?
No, it couldn't be fixed anyway. So it was just like a waste of time, energy, money. So I had to get a new washing machine at work and that's like not fun to spend money on. So it's just been like
one thing after another.
Yeah, it was just a lot.
I'm sorry. Do you need a hug or anything?
No.
Do you need a firm handshake?
No.
Okay.
My hands are really cold today. So they'll probably feel extra clammy if you touch them, and then you'll just judge me more than you already do.
Yeah.
So I'll just keep to myself.
Okay. So we're not making out on this episode. YouTube commenter who asked on the last episode when we're going to make out.
No, I don't think we're in a good headspace for it. I feel like we need to be in the right spot for that. Maybe Pride Month will be a good time.
Pride Month. And then it'll be locked behind our OnlyFans account that will start.
Yes.
Instead of a Patreon.
Sure. I did do something fun this weekend, which I talked about last week on the podcast, and I took a shooting class.
Yes, how I saw some pictures.
Yeah, it was well, it's a good segue to the subject at hand today, which is politics. It was at a very interesting place, which I mean one would suspect at a gun range.
The gun range you went to specifically is very, very, very interesting from what I understand.
Yeah. My instructor had a thing on his thing that he keeps all of his bullets in, his ammunition in, that said far right wing. So that was fun.
Interesting. What did he think about, what was his vibe towards you guys?
He was nice. I mean, he didn't give me any like weird vibe. He gave me a lot of weird vibes, but not specifically towards like me being a queer man. Cause also one of my other friends in the class is very unapologetically queer as well. So there was no hiding our queerness in that class for sure. It was fun. I was actually so nervous because we actually got to shoot at the end and my leg was trembling. I was so scared to be holding a gun because I was just like, this can kill me and anyone in this room if I do something wrong. So it was very scary, but then became fun and empowering towards the end. Yeah,
that was your first time shooting a gun ever, right?
Yeah, like period. Other than like maybe a BB gun when I was a kid, but I don't even really remember doing that. But yeah, so from nothing to a handgun, it's pretty.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. I brought this to show you.
Oh, your target?
Yep.
Look at that. You really did get a direct bullseye. Holy shit.
I did. And that was like one of my first ones.
Really?
Yeah. And then I got nervous because
you just killed a man?
Yeah, because now I'm a sniper. No, because there was two young gentlemen in my class. One maybe over 18. The other was definitely not over 18 because his dad had to be there. And they like, their dad brought their own guns, of course. And they were just like ready to fucking shoot shit up. And we're just like, bam, 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 right away. And like the like empty casings come and they're like hot and they hit you.
Yep.
And it was a lot. And then like, I thought, because I'm a lefty, which they also didn't ask me before renting me a gun, which is like kind of an important thing to know. We went there early because they said to come early so that they could fit us for the proper gun. And I don't feel like they did. They just were like, here you go, here's a gun. And so, anyways, I had a right-handed gun, and I didn't I felt like they taught us a lot about like the actual gun and bullets and all that stuff, but they didn't really take much time to actually show us like how to use the gun, really, if that makes any sense. But like how to load it and everything, that seemed like a very fast track part of the class, which did not seem.
I feel like they assume that most people who are taking that class.
No, it's like basic.
It's like the the basic.
Yeah, it should have been. It was also just torture sitting there. I hate learning in the classroom setting. So you have to like pull the thing back to load it and then whatever. And I thought you had to do that on every bullet, which was shooting ammunition out that wasn't being shot. So I had like 6 rounds of unused ammo laying on the ground that the instructor had to go get because I was an idiot. So I was only getting like 2 shots in per like people's 7.
I was going to say there's like.
Yep. So that was just like, it was intimidating at first, but then once I figured it out, it was fun. I'm going to be shooting stuff.
Nice.
I probably will buy a handgun.
And you're going to go for your concealed carry too, aren't you?
I think so. Yeah.
I am too.
Yeah. I think it's just an important time to have some protection. I never thought I'd be a gun owner, but I think I'm going to, and I'm going to shoot.
Hell yeah.
Especially if you try to come in my house.
So I'm in danger.
Yeah. I'm gonna answer the door with my gun every time now. It's just like, yes.
Yeah, I need to take a handgun course because I haven't shot a handgun in probably over 10 years, I think. Probably like almost 14 years, I'd guess, since I last shot a handgun, but because I also want to get my concealed.
It's intense. Here we are.
Yeah.
It's expensive, so I will have to wait till I find the proper handgun.
Yeah, you can find the ones that I've been looking at are like between 300 to 600, I would say.
Yeah.
So, and bullets are expensive too.
Yeah, and I would want like a safe, and I'm not going to just have a random handgun laying at my house.
Yeah.
I want to get like the type of safe where you put your handprint on it and it opens.
Oh yeah, that's probably what my father-in-law offered to buy me a gun safe if I start getting guns. So when I get a handgun, I'll probably
do that.
Ask him to buy me a gun safe.
Yeah, I want to do that so I can have it by my bed in case anyone breaks in at night, and then I can.
Have you seen? You probably haven't seen, but some people go real crazy with their gun safes. They have like, well, it's not even really a gun safe, but they'll have like an entertainment center, and then they use their Alexa to be like, it's set up in a completely impractical way to look cool from like a home defense situation, but like they'll be like, Alexa, it's party time or some shit, and then it'll turn the lights red, and then it's really cool actually. The like top of the entertainment center opens up to reveal their arsenal.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's a lot.
You could do something cool like that.
I could, but I never will.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen in this house.
Speaking of guns hidden in interesting places, Tom and I recently watched.
You have one in your ass
right now. I have
now.
one in my ass right now. You could probably find a small enough one to fit up there.
We were cackling about the gun oil lubricant, though.
Yeah.
Is it the same thing?
No.
They like the same company makes it, though, don't they?
I don't think so.
No?
Because there's gun oil, the lubricant.
Yeah.
And then there's like actual gun oil that you use to clean a firearm.
Yeah, but I thought like that like company gun oil makes both.
Maybe they do.
I don't know. I could be wrong.
That's something to Google later.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
What if my April Fool's joke was that I actually bought a gun and then I pull it out and shoot at you with it? Just to like spook you.
On a day like today, just shoot me in the head just to scare you.
Well, like by your head. I don't want to shoot you in the head.
I don't know. You did get a bullseye, so I guess I can trust your.
I'm pretty good.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I bet you're better than I'll be.
I was better than I would say most people in my class.
You got steady hands?
Yeah, and I was also just trying to take my time too.
Fair.
So I think if I like really practice, I'll be really good. I'll be a sharpshooter in no time.
Hell yeah. Let's get sniper rifles.
That is probably where I'm going to draw the line.
Interesting.
Let's just start with a handgun first, and then we'll see.
Work your way up.
Maybe once I taste blood, then I'll want more.
Then you'll want an AK-47.
Just shoot some. No, I don't know.
You don't want an AK-47 anyway.
No, we also talked about like shooting an animal, and I don't think I could. I just would feel sad.
Been there, done that. It's the gutting I have a problem with,
God.
personally.
Yeah, I don't want to think about it.
And this is as someone who has multiple dead animals in jars in a curio cabinet in his home that he turned into wet specimens himself. But that doesn't involve cutting them open.
That's true. It just involves putting them in a jar.
Now you gotta inject them with alcohol too.
Mm.
You could probably use Everclear or something fun like that. But anyway,
Okay.
guns, politics.
Politics. I mean, guns are a big part of politics.
Guns are a big part of politics.
So yeah, today we are recording on a Tuesday. We always record on Tuesdays, and today is a pretty big election day here in Wisconsin. How are you feeling?
Try not to put too much thought into it. I have a feeling I'm not even going to say that. I'm not going to jinx it. Never mind.
I think we haven't really talked about politics. I'm sure we've kind of like touched on it here and there, and I'm pretty sure people can assume politically where we probably fall. But you know, today might be the day where we have some controversial opinions, and that's okay. And that's, you know, we're all entitled to our opinions.
It's the beauty of life, isn't it?
It is. It's just sad that a lot of people are wrong and we're right.
Right wing.
So politics.
Where to start?
Let's
go through your entire voting history.
Sure, we could. It would be pretty funny because it would be my very first person I ever voted for was George Bush because I was 18, and that's what my grandpa told me I should vote for because I had no clue who the hell to vote for, and that would have been circa 2004.
Yeah.
2004. I don't know, somewhere in there. Yeah, whatever the year was. That's I voted for Bush, and then the next option would have been Obama, and then I voted for Obama both times, and then I don't know who would have been. Oh, Hillary Clinton would have been the next one, right?
Yep. And then Kamala.
And then Camellia, but I did vote for Donald Trump 4 times.
Yep.
So obviously I would assume, and this could get me in trouble, that you're probably more left leaning on the political spectrum.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm right wing. I just said that.
What are your top, what are your things, your top, I don't know, we'll say top 2, like, I don't know why I'm losing my words, not platforms, but issues, yes, that you are like passionate about.
Gay rights and queer rights in general, overall. So gay rights, trans rights, etc. And environmentalism.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts on environmentalism? What are you passionate about with that?
We should probably stop killing the planet that we live on. But it's okay because the billionaires are going to find a way to get to Mars, and they're definitely going to let all of us come with for free and not just try to go start a utopian planet. But here's my theory on environmentalism, actually, because my husband gets really sad when he thinks about climate change. But my actual theory is that right now we're in an era where stupid fucking people like Elon Musk are trying to colonize Mars because they're realizing that we're killing the planet, but they want to keep making money, so they don't want to stop killing the planet. They just want to get off the planet. But when that fails to come to fruition before, you know, the planet dies and we die with it because we're parasites and we deserve to die, then they're going to dump a shit ton of money into mitigating and somewhat fixing the problem. So it's a waiting game, really. We could stop now. We totally could stop now.
Yeah.
But they won't. So that's my theory, is that we're going to reach a point where billionaires are going to then stop pumping money into Mars and start pumping money into trying to fix some of the damage that they caused. And we're going to guillotine them anyway. But
okay.
Yeah.
Strong point.
Side note, speaking of politics, today I got an alert from AP that the Trump's what's the fucking called? Attorney General is directing prosecutors to seek the death penalty for Luigi Mangione. And I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because you're going to take the folk hero and then you're going to turn him into a martyr. That's going to work out so well for the ruling class.
Yeah.
That made me laugh.
I think my thing about politics is like, I know enough to know what I stand for and what I want, but I also don't know enough to feel educated to like battle people about it necessarily. Like, nor do I want to take the time on Facebook to fight with people because that's just, I literally don't have the time. But I just like don't always feel educated enough to really like fight, but I know how I feel in my heart, if that makes any sense. But I admire people who have the gumption to say what they want to say and go for what they want to go. Because I just like, I also don't like, I would feel like I have so much to learn about like the fuck is like House of Congress and the Senate, and like I get like what they genuinely, that's not the right word, generally do, but I don't know enough of like what they really do and like how I don't like understand why like there's all these levels. Like I mean I understand the basics of it, but like I feel like to really get it I would need to like pump a lot of time into understanding, and then like understanding who all these fucking people are and like speakers and all, there's so much shit behind it that I just like I don't want to know. I really don't care to know. I know enough to be present and passionate about what I should be, but I don't know enough to like get involved.
Yeah. So you're not going to run for office?
I feel like I should, but I'm not going to.
I feel like it is important for more people to admit that they don't necessarily know what the fuck they're talking about when it comes to the nitty gritty of the stuff, but it's okay to not know the nitty gritty and just know that like, hey, maybe we should like provide healthcare for all people.
Yeah, like I don't have the solution to how that should happen or how like we could make it happen, but I feel like that's the job of the people that I elect to do that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's like in any job you do, like I'm not a bartender, so I don't know how to make a dirty old fashioned. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know. An old fashioned.
Just be an old fashioned.
Okay, a dirty martini.
Dirty martini. There you go. Dirty Shirley.
I don't know how to make those. I know how to enjoy those, but you should know how to make that. And it's just like when I cut your hair, I want you to enjoy the haircut I give you, but I don't think you would know how to do it.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if I know how to make a martini.
I'm sure not every politician has every answer either, but you know what I'm saying.
I do though, which is why you should elect Chan Smith to Congress.
Sure.
You should run for office.
Which office?
Doctor's
office?
Yeah.
Just go sit there and tell people what to do.
I think I should run for office if only because the slogans write themselves.
Yeah, take a chance.
Give America a chance, re-election, a second chance for America, third term if I'm a senator or congressman or someone who doesn't have a term limit, a third chance, my final time running, one last chance.
Yeah, I mean we're set up for greatness.
I was.
And all you've done with it is this podcast. Just
You're not wrong.
No. Well, do you want to run for some sort of office? I feel like you kind of allude to it often, which makes me think that there might be some sort of feeling.
There is like some sort of feeling. Like I joked a lot last year, 2 years ago about running for city council specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And then I accidentally made the joke to my friend Jess, who listens to the podcast, who is on city council. And then she was like, you should actually run for it. Like there's an open seat in your district. You totally could.
Yeah.
And then I got scared. But the thought's still there.
Maybe you should.
Jess continued to ask me every time at large or third ward seat comes up.
I would have to kill Jess in order to run for city council because she's in my ward.
Is she your ward?
I might have to kill her.
Jess, we're not gonna do that.
No, we're not. So if anyone does shoot you, it was me.
Yeah.
No, but yes, she is in my ward, I believe.
I photographed her wedding. Did you know that?
No.
No.
That's cute.
I apologize for everything.
I was just gonna say I can't even say. Say never mind. Just stop. Keep going.
where was I going? Oh, but
Running for office, city.
running for office. I thought
Council.
about city council, and then part of me wants to, because he's also Christian is your Wisconsin State Assembly representative, right? Are you out of the district?
I'm out of the district.
So I'm in the district where our friend Christian Phelps, I hope he doesn't get mad at me for saying on the podcast that he's my friend, but I mean, I worked on his campaign and
yeah, I would prefer you to not refer to him as my friend.
okay, my friend,
Yes.
personal friend Christian Phelps ran for office and was elected as the Wisconsin State Assembly representative for the 93rd district. And Christian,
Super awesome.
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And Christian is the exact person that I want in office because he's an unapologetic socialist. And I sometimes think about how he did that, even though like the mainstream Democratic Party didn't want to and didn't want him to. And I sometimes think, well, maybe I should just submit the papers to run for like Congress and just run as an independent or as a Democrat. And then as soon as I get in, you can just fuck shit up because then you're an incumbent and it's much easier to get reelected as an incumbent than it is to get elected in the first place.
Yeah. I think
Jan Smith for Congress.
there's so many things I want to say this episode to talk shit, but I just can't because it's
It's what is stopping you?
I don't know.
What is wrong with you? Are you
I don't
feeling
know.
sick?
Maybe. I'm with child now.
Oh, yes.
April Fools.
You're a side. You ain't getting pregnant.
Yeah, true.
I might have gotten someone pregnant.
I did see that was like a thing on a post on Facebook about not something to joke around about being pregnant on April Fools because it's not funny for people who can't get pregnant. Which sure. Anyone can run for Congress.
Would you vote for me?
I would need to know where your policies stand.
My policies would be the Democratic Party has failed the American people because they're
lost my vote
resting on decorum and bipartisanship, while Republicans are leaning into Nazism and far-right ideology and winning constantly. And all this fucking Chuck Schumer old Democrat bullshit where they're no, we can't buck the system, that the Republicans are just trampling all over for funsies because they like power and are doing the things that they've been saying they want to do because they have power. But then old fucks like the people in Congress and the Senate who are just being like, no, we can't stoop to their level. They keep losing and the American people lose because of that.
Yeah.
So my policy, my general policy is fuck everyone, and we actually need to like deliver on promises to the American people and the base and the left, because the Democratic Party is losing young leftist voters because they are not actually doing anything.
Yeah.
And furthermore, sorry, I have a slight rant about politics. Anyone, I'm gonna try to step lightly around this because I like this person. But if you're like someone who didn't vote in the last election because I might have yelled about this before on the podcast.
It's okay. Go off again.
But if you didn't vote in the last election because, quote, there's queer people in Palestine being murdered and neither party is going to do anything about it. There's people I see on the internet who are like, there's trans Palestinians getting murdered, so I'm not voting for the Democrats because they're not going to do anything. Look what the Republicans want to do with like Gaza and all that stuff, So I hate to say it, yeah, the lesser of two evils is still evil, but like it's still lesser. And also, people who make these geopolitical situations that are not inherently like queer issues, when they make them into queer issues, you're losing You're losing me. Yes, there are queer people in Palestine. There are queer people everywhere. But if you are not voting in an election because there's queer people in Palestine getting bombed, it's great that you're thinking about these theoretical people that you don't know at all, not that you have to know people to care about them, but like, look at your situation in the country you live in where things aren't theoretical, things are actually affecting you. Don't you want to take care of yourself also? Because if you take care of yourself, then there's a chance that you can help take care of those other people. But no, you didn't vote because, not that we would have won if, all those people, not that the left would have won if, even if all those people voted. Maybe they would have, but just, I'm not being very articulate with this rant, but it annoys me.
I think you were. I just felt like you were yelling at me.
No, not you.
How do you know if I voted or not?
I don't, but
Didn't do is put my I voted sticker on.
Oh my God, I have mine too.
So no one knows if I really voted or not if I don't post it on Snapchat, right? Put your sticker on or it didn't happen.
There we go. Now we're good citizens. No, but when people, there's a tendency there's not a tendency, there's a very vocal minority of people, I think, on the internet who try to say that all of these vast geopolitical situations are inherently queer issues, which there are queer people. Yes, there are queer people everywhere, but the people in Palestine, speaking about Palestine specifically, they're not getting bombed because they're queer. They're getting bombed because they're Palestinian. And it's like cognitive dissonance. I don't fucking understand how these people come to these conclusions.
My thing is that it just seems so overwhelming. And where do we start? Where do we stop? Where do we go? What do we do? And I know the way that things happen and bad things happen faster is by dividing people. And that's really what's happening right now is people are just so divided on things and people are living in fear and people are scared. And that's an easy way to swoop in and get what you want done with the evil things that you want done. Yeah, I don't even know where to begin or what to do. But one thing I always think about that's it's really just silly, but I think maybe I'm onto something with this of, what if everyone had to take a test? And it was like a
civics test?
Yeah, no, but they were like, what do you think about abortion? Agree, disagree, whatever. And then it was like, what do you think about gun laws? Agree, disagree. And then you just do a Venn diagram and everyone who falls into the same things about how they feel about abortion, gun control, or whatever. And they're like, now you all get to live in California, Nevada. And then if you
want to segregate and break up the United States based on political ideology.
No, the whole world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
then there's diversity, you get, because you're going to obviously have people from France and India and Australia that agree with what you agree. And then you all just go live in Australia. And then everyone who agrees another way just lives in Central America.
It's not your worst idea.
And then we can just fight with each other on continents. Maybe there's something to it.
I think so.
Maybe there's something to my idea about
splitting everyone up.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Because then it's what are you mad about then?
What are you mad about in your own little country? You're still bombing other people.
No, I think if people were surrounded by people that they thought similarly to, maybe it doesn't have to be perfect science, but at least, similar enough, then I'm not worried about what people are doing in Canada.
I think I think people would still fight within the country.
Silly.
Humans are, we are predisposed to infighting because humans are inherently tribal and we're meant to especially in the modern day, that's why everything is so fucked up, because we as humans, evolutionary, are meant to know maybe 40 people max. That's who you're supposed to hang out with. But we're so interconnected, and social media has ruined this world. We are tribal, but on a much larger scale. But then there's infighting within the tribes. So
everyone needs to be killed.
That's what I'm saying. We are a parasite on this earth, and we should just like go away.
So what do we do to move forward and feel like there's hope?
That's certainly a question.
What brings you some hope to get through the day?
I don't fucking know.
So if you're seeing this unedited, it means Chance killed himself.
Yeah. 3 different YouTube videos two different YouTube videos uploaded, and that's it.
I am stuck trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't even know how to actually take the camera off the tripod. So that would be the first thing I'd have to do.
Mhm.
And then the second thing would be
Figure out where the memory card is.
Yep.
And then take the memory card out. I'll just tell you how to do it. So after I kill myself, you can do it. So there's a little latch on the tripod, and the memory card is at the back of the camera.
I'm really uninterested.
Yeah.
Yep. The minute you started, I just shut down.
That's fair.
And stopped listening.
What gives me hope? Because I'm not a completely hopeless person when it comes to
What do
like
you
the
think
state of
about
the world.
abortion?
Abortion? I wish my parents had had one.
I'm just kidding. What gives you hope, Chance?
I mean, just like we've talked about it several times, but I'm big on community and like protecting yourself and the people around you, and like focusing on what's happening in your immediate vicinity. And the election today also brings up a good point that like local politics affect you more than federal politics, which is why you should vote in every election. And I have people around me that I like. I have people around me that I love, and we'll get through it. You know, I don't know if I don't know if I have hope for things getting better, but I have hope for things getting better after they get probably worse. But maybe they won't get worse. They won't get worse if we can band together for what's right.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag floating
Yes.
through the sky?
I understand this reference, but don't ask me to quote the lyrics because I don't know. But I got it.
I don't either, but maybe you just can relate to that right now.
I can.
Just a paper bag floating through the world.
I believe it's a plastic bag.
Plastic bag, yep. I don't know why I said paper.
Do you know who Werner Herzog is?
No.
Well, he's a German, Australian filmmaker, but he voiced a short film that was just about a plastic bag floating in the wind. And it's a pretty good short film.
Katy Perry
Katy
sued
Perry's
him for it.
Probably. I bet it was inspired by that song, actually. What gives you hope?
Nothing.
So we're in the same boat.
Yep.
This has been Small Town Big Gays.
Okay. Well, here's where I stand on things, because I feel like I have an interesting position as a small business owner, which I think puts you in a different bracket of thinking, and then also as a queer person, which is like can tend to be two very different realms of things. Like, because obviously like I own a business and I want to make money, and I understand fiscal decisions and wanting to make money and what that means. But I have always been true to with my business of not wanting to make money off of other people's backs necessarily, because I think there's a way to have a successful business and treat your people good. And so that's always been like my thing from the get-go with my business, is that I try and find ways to make money off of other things than versus off of the people who are in my space. Because at the end of the day, I would never put money, a price tag, or myself over other people. And I think so many people put themselves as a priority over other people. And so that has just always been something I live by. I also like, I don't think people realize like how ignorant they are to things too. And like, growing up, my grandfather, on my mother's side was extremely racist and was just kind of belligerent with it. And my whole family, I shouldn't say, well, yeah, I should say my whole family. Most of them excused it. Like they were just like, oh, it's just him and that's just how he feels and there's no changing that. And I was always like, no, like it's not okay. Like it's ridiculous as a matter of fact. Like I could never get that. And I just like and like that trickles down into, you know, my mom and my aunt and my uncle, like they are also racist in their own ways. I don't think that they are bad people. And I don't think they even most of the time realize they're doing it. And that has then trickled down to me and my cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like it trickles down in ways and like you have to truly like notice that and want to make a change in it. And there's still times where I catch myself with like, what is it? Is it microaggressions? Is that the right word? But like where I think things because that's what I was told. And I'm just like, no, that's not right though, you know? And I try to actively make changes in my thinking and my views. And I try to see things from other people's perspective because I have clients who definitely think very different politically than me. And I try not to talk about it with them because one, I just know that sometimes we're just not going to change each other's opinions in that 30-minute haircut, which is fine. I would hope that at the end of the day that they would put me as a person as a priority over their finances or their things. Do I believe that that is true for the most part? Probably not. But yeah, so I don't know. I feel like that was a tangent of a lot of things, but I think at the end of the day, like we as people all have to make decisions of what are the things that are the most important to us. And then a lot of times in like politics and the way we were raised, we have to take a look in the mirror, which isn't always an easy and fun thing to do, and understand who we are and why we are the way we are. And the only way to improve that is to like listen when people tell us we're wrong and change it. And try and be better people to each other. And I think that's what gives me hope, is that knowing that people want to break those cycles. And I think in a weird turn of events, I think that's why the world is the way it is, as kind of messed up as it is because as generations are going on, they're having easier things. And they're also like, in many ways saying like enough is enough, but like also maybe not always in the best ways of doing that, you know, like with you saying the whole like Palestine thing, like that's great that they're like, hey, there's people being treated like shit and no one's addressing this. So then what do we do? But like also at the same point, like if no one's addressing it and you're not doing anything about it, it's not going to get better. In fact, it'll probably get worse because the people who are making it that way are still in control. So it's like that fine line of like, how do we find the solutions to making things better? I think I tied that all together kind of nicely, maybe, right?
I think you did.
Yeah.
Because I think I agree that it's all because of breaking cycles. Is that like, that's the reason that like Donald Trump is president again, is because like the situation that everyone, speaking specifically in the United States, the situation that we're all in is like fucked on so many different levels, but the average person doesn't really know. I mean, no one knows the best way to fix it. So there's differing of opinions, and then people are taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
Pretending to have the best interests of these people in mind when really they only have their own interests. So it's a difference of how do we fix it, and then also there's a lot of anger and frustration with how things are. And I mean, I just spoke about frustration with like the Democratic Party. So like, I understand being frustrated. I just have a differing opinion of than a Trump supporter of how we could fix the fact that the Democratic Party doesn't make things better in the country. Do I think they make it worse? No, but are they just kind of keeping it the same and traditional, trying to keep things business as usual? Yeah. And is that what we need? No. But Do I think Donald Trump is fixing things by doing business in a vastly different way? Absolutely not.
I think a big thing to realize is that Donald Trump himself really isn't doing anything. He's kind of just like a big puppet for
Elon Musk
and other people.
Various other people, yeah.
And I mean, that's really truly at the end of the day, any presidential candidate for either side. Yeah, it's so tough because like I think a lot of it, what it comes down to is like the whole thing with like Make America Great Again is like, when was it ever great for anyone, really? Like, it's never really been great for any person. Like, yes, many could argue that obviously it's mostly been great for white cis men, which I don't even think it's been that great for them either. Like, it's kind of all been shitty. And like, if you go back and look at history, like when I was on these tours in New Orleans of just seeing like how terrible, not that we don't know this, but like you don't always think about it, like how terrible natives were treated and the black community. You know, it's just like, it's just so wild. Like, I can't even imagine half of the shit happening. And then it's like, and then now in like our, you know, like you learn about like World War II and then like the Jews and the Nazis and that stuff in school. And you're like, I don't know how that could ever happen. And like segregation, like I always remember thinking like, oh my God, I would never like, just like a black person sitting at a restaurant trying to get food and then people are just like pepper spraying them, throwing hot boiling water at them. Like I would like go crazy if that happened nowadays. But then like, look what's happening in Gaza. But like, it's also not in front of my face. Like I'm not there, but like, how do I also stop that? You know, it's just like, it's so crazy because it's happening, but like, how do we stop it? And what do we do? And there's just like, you feel so helpless, but I just like I can't even begin to wrap my head around the ghost rat. How people like can have that much like ill will towards someone. Like I understand like shitty things happen sometimes. Like I guess I can't speak on like, I don't like, no one I know personally was like murdered by people because of their religion or something. So like I can't speak on that, but I can't imagine even if that did happen to me, then being like, I need to kill everyone who believes in that religion, you know? And that's like basically how wars started most of the time, you know? Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get why people are so mean.
And all this stuff is taught. And I truly think it comes down to the fact that humans are tribal by nature and we're supposed to be in these small groups. So there's always, that's why even like in, you know, the United States, we're fighting with each other constantly because we're supposed to be this one united country, but at the end of the day, we're meant to be, again, with like 40 people max in our little tribe. And that's why that's why everything is so divided. And it's not unique to America. Other countries are also, you know, fucked in terms of division. But yeah, we will always try to, as humans, we always try to seek a way to other people. You know what I mean? To quote unquote other people. Like, you're different than me because you have long hair, but we're the short hair tribe, so we're gonna kill you. It's how it's always been at the end of the day.
But do you instinctively have the feelings of wanting to kill people?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to understand. People who do that. There are people who do that, and that's
there are people who do that, and I think it's taken to extremes, you know,
which is weird.
Yeah.
To me. Like, and then also like just thinking about war in general is fucking weird. Like, you go like thinking of like World War II or whatever war you want to think of, like being an American citizen and just going to another country and just killing people. Like, it's so fucking weird to me.
Humans are violent by nature.
I just don't believe that.
I do.
I mean, I think people are like psycho. I don't know, because I don't feel that way. You said you don't feel that way.
I don't feel that way, but
so
also,
it's not by nature then.
I do think humans have violence
crazy
in them, but also when you're talking about specifically the military's entire job is to sand down someone's personality enough to make them be able to take
crazy.
Life.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Crazy.
It is crazy.
And it's led by crazy people
Mhm.
at the top. I think it's just crazy. I think it's just there's a few crazy people who have gotten away with being crazy and have destroyed this world.
And I think we need to.
Have more normal people on one continent.
Okay, we're back to. I think we solved politics this episode.
I think I did.
I didn't do shit. It's going to be the name of the
I'm a
episode.
genius.
Chance and Travis solved
Yeah.
the American political crisis.
It's just like also,
And we'll put this disclaimer in here. We're two people who don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
we are two people who know exactly what we're talking about, and because we solved the world issues
we just
today.
solved world. Chance and Travis make world peace.
I think the thing we all could agree on, though, is that Whitney Houston was an awful person.
Was she?
No.
No.
But I just wanted to see if people would get upset about that. I feel like plenty of people like Whitney Houston. I think she might be one of the few people that like a lot of people just agree to like her.
I mean, this
Like
is
Dolly Parton.
This is where we'll find out that Whitney Houston did something problematic.
Well, she did drugs, so I'm sure that's probably problematic to some people.
I feel like most famous people have done something problematic at some point, including Dolly Parton, but we all choose to ignore anything problematic. I don't think Dolly Parton's actually done anything problematic.
I don't think so either. I think
that
people
we know about.
Do people
Dolly?
like Dolly Parton?
I think most people like Dolly Parton.
I think I don't know how you couldn't.
I think she's almost universally beloved.
Maybe people will chime us in on something really awful that she's done.
Yeah. I bet Dolly Parton has murdered 3 people.
I know she makes really good cinnamon bread.
Does she?
Mm-hmm. Had it. And
cinnamon bread sounds so fucking
they
good. They
always ask her, because it's at Dollywood, and they always ask her, do you like it with the cream cheese frosting or the apple butter better? And she goes, yep. And then she goes, there's a little piggy inside of me that's always trying to get out. I like it no matter how. And I said,
I love her.
Amen, Dolly, because there's a little piggy bitch in me too.
Mm. Yeah,
Big
there's a
piggy bitch.
little pig in me too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so
Where
maybe
can I get cinnamon bread right now?
I don't know.
Hmm.
You could get a cinnamon crunch bagel at Panera. Those are pretty good.
But
You
I can't
toast
get
it
the
up.
caffeine lemonade that killed people.
You should get it.
I wish I could. I think they got rid of it.
Oh, well, they have other ones, don't they?
I don't know.
You can get like a monthly membership there for drinks.
Panera?
Yeah, and you just pay a monthly membership, and then you can go fill it up whenever you want.
Small Town Big Gay, sponsored by Panera.
I wish.
Cha-ching.
I don't know. Someone said Panera's like fancy cafeteria food, and I agree with that.
I don't disagree. I've only had it like 2 times in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Panera's like
You can't tell we stopped talking about politics by this point in the episode.
Panera is politics.
Bread Bowl, what's your go-to?
Well, this is a controversial opinion. I hate bread. I'm just kidding. I love bread.
I've had this fight with my husband before.
He hates bread, doesn't he?
He
Looks like a bread hater. If you are listening to this noise in the background, those are my lesbian neighbors who have a big truck.
should we have them on the pod?
I don't think so.
I'll peek out the door and ask them if they want to. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Panera bread. Sorry.
Panera, and Tom hates bread. Tom doesn't hate bread. Tom just doesn't like bread by itself. So I think
Does it give him a bellyache? He
No,
looks like
he
someone
just-
who complains about having bellyaches a lot.
no, not like Nick.
Okay.
Do you complain about having belly aches a lot?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say this is the first time I've ever heard you complain.
I was
about
like, and if I do, they're self-induced from eating too much.
yeah. Tom doesn't like breadsticks because he says that it's just like bread should be like a delivery method for stuff. But I disagree. I think breadsticks are fucking awesome.
I mean, they kind of are like even a breadstick, it's like you usually dip it in a sauce, but I mean, I would eat them by themselves.
I eat them raw dog. And we've definitely talked about this on the podcast before because we got shadow banned on TikTok for me saying I was going to shove breadsticks up my ass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Panera bread. What were we talking? Oh, you asked what I like
Bread
in my
bowls,
bread
yeah.
bowl. Okay, so I feel like Panera bread is a restaurant for people who are in a weight loss journey, because like there's healthier options like salads and bowls and stuff. So I feel like it's a place for fat people to feel better about themselves. As a fat person who's felt better about themselves
While
there.
eating Panera.
the soups are usually not pretty good for you. So they're not a thing for a weight loss journey. But if I had to pick a soup at Panera, this is where it's going to get controversial. I would choose autumn squash all day, every day.
Interesting.
It's delicious.
Never had.
It's squash soup in the autumn time.
I tried to explain to my husband once upon a time that when I was a kid, we used to have potato soup, and he just did not understand the concept. But it was like a cream base.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it was made out of potato, like very watery, like mashed potatoes almost.
Oh.
Or some kind of, and there were chunks of potatoes and like ham and cheese. It was delicious, but I tried to explain this to him and he didn't get it. But I don't think I really understood it.
How do you not understand potato soup?
Because I think I didn't say that it was like a cream base. Because the broth was white, which I always assumed as a child meant that it was made out of potatoes because potatoes are white.
So I think what you're trying to say is he was thinking like how tomato soup, like the base of it is like tomatoes. He was thinking that it was potato,
which would just be like super watery mashed potatoes.
Yeah, no,
which could be good.
Could be good, but nope, that's not it, Tom. It is a cream-based soup, and then because there is potato in it, and potato breaks up pretty easy, like a little bit of it will like
there's
get
like
in
some
there.
Potato grit.
Yeah,
which I think is why I, as a child, thought it was made of potatoes. Yeah,
like a potato bisque.
Yes. Yeah,
but it's not.
Yeah, that shit was delicious.
It's unfortunate that both of you are stupid.
It really is.
I'm just kidding.
You know, it's tough out there for two dum-dums. At least we're hot.
Yeah, you got that going for you. It's good.
You heard it.
Yeah, both of you are attractive people.
You heard it here. Small town big gays. Travis thinks I'm hot.
I do.
You're hot.
I am warm. Actually, I'm cold. It's cold in here.
I was thinking about this. Another tangent. What was I thinking about? We have to stop. People need to stop telling themselves that they aren't hot. And you need to, I think this will solve, we've already solved politics. I think this will solve the incel thing on the internet. You have to stop thinking that you're not hot. You just have to start appreciating that you are not everyone's type. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Someone sent me a thing for, I think it was Keanu Reeves was talking about like how if someone doesn't like you, you say, that's fine. There's 699 million other people that might.
Yeah.
Which is true, but it's still not easy when you don't like yourself. Just kidding. What if I just started crying? Would you feel weird? What would you do if I started crying?
I would probably just pack up the cameras and leave because I would not. I am not
good with emotions.
I'm not good with emotions. I'm trying to be better. I'm almost 30, so I'm trying to be better, but
okay, well, I'm not really good with my emotions, but as a licensed doctor and therapist and medicine woman,
you're a medicine woman now.
Yes, okay. Dr. Quinn. Felicia will love that reference because that's one of her favorite shows, and that's how we draw Felicia in this round. Yep, it was a TV show. You should watch it. I think you might enjoy it.
Dr. Quinn.
I think you would actually hate it, but you might enjoy it.
All right.
Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. Millennials, if you were stuck at home with your grandparents on a Saturday night, you will know what I'm talking about. Okay. Wait. Oh, yeah. I will work with you on dealing with your emotions while also dealing with myself, dealing with my emotions, and then I'll work on liking myself more.
Okay. So I don't really have to do anything in this situation? I don't have to help you do something?
No, I don't think you can help me.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, no, how you'll help me is when I start crying because I hate myself, you can give me a hug and tell me that I'm beautiful. And then we'll listen to James Blunt. Is that who sings that song?
You're beautiful.
Yeah, and then, we could do it outside on the snow like he does and then jump into an icy river like he does.
That could be fun.
Yeah, I think we just pretty much solved every issue in the world today.
I think we really did. I think, are there any other issues, like rapid fire issues that we would like to solve?
No, I think we've done enough for the world today. I do think next week we'll probably just have a lot of fun on the podcast and just
Talk about something not so heavy.
Not so heavy, but I just felt like today we needed to talk about politics a little bit just because it is kind of important, and it's a big day today for Wisconsin politics of having, basically someone trying to buy people's votes, which is actually really horrifying to think about, this whole thing. And
paying people $100 to sign a petition that means nothing.
Yeah, it's just really it's a really weird time to be alive. And I just want people to continue to fight the good fight for what they believe in, whether that's the same politics that I believe in or not. I want you to do what you think is the right thing. But I'm just going to continue to encourage the people around me to fight and encourage them to not get scared and hide, but to be out and proud and be around like-minded people who care about you, because I think there's a lot more than you really think there are, and that's how they win, is by scaring you into hiding. And I believe that children are the future.
I don't fuck the kids, but fuck them kids. You know what I mean? I always feel like I have to specify when I say that. I'm gonna cut that part out.
Yeah, you really talk about fucking kids a lot.
Shut up. No, I do not. You. What was I gonna say?
I don't know, because you're being icky. Is that a tattoo on your hand?
Yeah. There's a stick and poke. Did that myself.
We'll talk about that next week.
Okay.
I hate that.
I did a stick and poke?
Yeah, I have a little less respect for you after this decision.
I have the kit still. I can give you a stick and poke.
Nope.
You don't have any tattoos.
Would you put a bumper sticker on a Bentley?
Yes. What I was gonna say is, even if you are feeling hopeless, that doesn't mean that you
should get a hand prick tattoo.
That doesn't mean that you should get a stick and poke tattoo. Even if you're feeling hopeless, that doesn't mean you should just like roll over and stop fighting. We need to keep going, because the only cure for feeling hopeless is to keep fighting so that there is hope. So keep doing it. And fuck Elon Musk.
Doing it well.
Doing it well.
Cool.
Great.
Awesome.
Sick.
Yeah.
We solve politics.
We solve politics, and I lost respect for you with that stick and poke tattoo.
Okay, bye.
What is it?
It's a heart. It's a shitty heart. It was my first stick and poke. Ask Tom to show you the one that I did on his ankle. It looks better.
Oh, no. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Small Town Big Gays is hosted by Travis Gorell and me, Chance Smith. Our music is 1am by TYB. You can check out his music. Links are in the episode description. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at STBG Pod. Find us on Facebook if you're a Facebook person. Email us at smalltownbiggays@gmail.com. And for more shit from me, Chance, go to strangehavens.com.
Nice to fall asleep.